What's up, guys? Welcome to your Bitcoin update. We're also going to be taking a look at the Dow Jones, gold, the dollar index, Litecoin, Ethereum, and XRP and see where we're headed. XRP we've been watching pretty closely, so definitely stick around for the whole video. You don't want to miss this, and don't forget we have a free Discord group. There's a link below. Definitely check it out, and let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it, and let's get into it. The Fear and Greed Index. Oh, before we begin, don't forget, we do a free Ledger Nano S hard wallet giveaway on Sunday. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, tick the notification bell, turn your notifications on, smash that like button, and leave your comment below. I'll pick a random comment on Sunday. All right. Looking at the Fear and Greed Index, we're at 91, same as yesterday, still in the extreme greed zone. So the Dow Jones, this is what we've been waiting for. Let's see if we top out when we hit this trend line. It's going to be around 30,000, between 30,800 and 30,900. I do expect that to be the top. Now, if not, if we do break above it and get support on this trend line, then the Dow is probably going to go up for an extremely long time. But I do expect a rejection here. As you can see, we're having bearish divergence. We've been having it for quite some time here. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is actually, if we zoom in and look at the EMAs, gold does look bullish. So it does have a chance of breaking our 1910 resistance. I am still bearish on gold, though. I still believe we're going to come down to this 1736. That becomes invalid if we pass the 1910 area. Now, the dollar index, we've been watching this for quite some time, looking at this as a possible fractal, the same falling wedge that we had over here. The EMAs are lining up. Everything is almost identical to what's going on here. Now, if we look at the RSI down here, we drew a trend line from these two touches on the top of the wedge here when we finally broke out here. Same thing over here, just we haven't broke out yet. But if we look at what's going on, we got higher lows in the RSI, lower lows in the price action. That is bullish divergence. And it does look like we are forming a left shoulder head and right shoulder on the 3-day RSI. Now, keep in mind, this is a 3-day. It takes time. But I do believe eventually we're going to break up through this and continue upward. And I do believe that Bitcoin will most likely fall while this is happening. I'm going to also show you a trade that I posted in the group that I'm waiting on, looking like it might not happen, but patience is key. And if it doesn't happen, I look for another trade. But anyways, looking at this wedge over here, as you can see, we had 2 wicks down below the bottom before we came up and broke out of this wedge back here. And if we look at where we're at now, we're doing the same thing. We had a wick below, another wick below. If we can get back above this and climb out, then I do believe, like I said, a breakout of this will probably bring Bitcoin down with it. But we have to watch. If we do continue down from here, then obviously then this will be invalidated, and then we have to refigure what's going on. But as of right now, I still think it's safe to say we're eventually going to break up and out of this. So let's take a look at this. We're looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be the final wave of possibly only the third wave. We'll talk about that too. But we had this target up here for an extended 5th wave at about 2867. Now this is going to be key to watch this area. We didn't quite hit it. Looks like it got front ran. But if we do get above this, the bullish case is breaking above this and getting support at this 28,670 range. And then our next extended target would be 32.8. And after that, if the same thing was to happen, now this is the super bullish case scenario, not to say it's going to happen. We could definitely have already topped out right here. But if we do break above at 32.8, then the next target would be 39.6. Target after that, 46.4, and then 50,000. That is the extreme bullish case scenario, but I will take a look at a few different charts here. Now let's take a look at this. I posted this trade yesterday. I posted this in the chat in our Discord group, and again, check it out if you haven't already. But we had a target here of the breakout, doing a measured move of this whole triangle to where we broke out was around 29.4. Still a possibility, but we could be topped out because we could move this down to right here where we broke out here, and looking at this as the triangle, and if we took a measured move of that and put it up here, that gets us right to where we're at now. So that's another thing saying that we could possibly be topped out here. This could be, like I said, the fifth wave of the fifth wave, and that would look something like, if I go back over here and looking at that as the fifth wave, there's always 5 waves in each wave. Let's put this on here. This would be wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But again, that could be extended. If we do break this 28.6, then we could be headed up to this range here. Now let's look at, this is the trade I posted and I've been waiting on, still waiting to get in it. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, I'll wait for the next trade. But I'm looking for the 28,360 range to enter my short. Stop loss at about 28,548, and my target for this would be around the 27.1 to 27,150, somewhere in that area would be my target. Look at this as an ABC. So that's what I'm looking at. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out PrimeXBT. I'll leave a tutorial up top on how to use the leverage. It's a great exchange. They have a lot of different assets you can trade. Bitcoin, EOS, Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, Forex, gold, silver, oil, Dow Jones, S&P 500, everything on one exchange, and you can do multiple trades, have longs and shorts in all at the same time, so you can make money when the market goes up or down. Definitely check it out. Use my promo code Savy50 to get you 50% on top of whatever you deposit as a bonus, up to 1 Bitcoin to use towards your margin. Savy25 get you 25% off your fees. And let's take a look at this chart here. This was, each one of these trend lines goes off at each one of these peaks over here to our peak in 2019 and up. And we've been talking about the last one we broke was right here, and we did come down, test it for support. So the getting up to the next line is going to be around 29.2 if we make it up there. And again, like I said, if we're topped out here, then we could look at our retracement zones as 0.236 at 22.5, 0.382 at 18.9, 0.5 at 15.8, 0.618 at 12.7, and then 0.786 at 8,500. Let's take a look at, we've been watching this also. Each peak to peak, we're usually getting 550 days from peak to peak. This is our 2017 peak to our 2019 peak, 556 days. And I did move this over because we did make a new high. So we have 554 days from this high to high. We still could go up. Like I said, it don't have to be exactly 550 days. So if we do have a push up, but I do think we are nearing a top here. And our lows are 450 days apart. As you can see, our low from 17 to 18, 455 days. Low from 18 to 19, 457 days. And if we went to another 400, let's say 453 days, just to be an approximate, but it's gonna be sometime in June when we hit our next low. That doesn't mean our low has to be down here, although it is possible. It could be up at 14,000, 15,000, but June will be our next low in my opinion. And our next high will be in, if we do the 550 days again across here, would be somewhere in the June range of 2022. Now, we had this target on our weekly. Look at this as a symmetrical triangle. Our target was 28,100. Obviously, we got above that a little bit. If we use that same target, looking at it where it broke out, same place it broke out in the weekly RSI, that would get us up to 30,300. Let's see. So looking at this as a rising broadening wedge here. Zoom in a little bit. This rising broadening wedge, which we did pop out of, came back down, tested as support. The bullish case here is about 31.7 would be the measured move of the width of this wedge, bouncing up if we have not topped out here. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Let's look at, We'll get into Litecoin, Ethereum, and XRP next. XRP is getting pretty interesting, but I just wanted to show this. As you can see, our two little humps here, we do it a rising channel, broke out of it, came back down and broke below. Same thing in 2019 when we broke above, went to our high, came back, broke below it again. We are making another one now. Will we break below? It's definitely a possibility. One more thing I want to show on this is, let's take a look at the super bullish case Elliott wave scenario. I'd be looking at this as a wave 1, 2. We're looking at making 3 here, and then 4, and then 5. So if this is the case, this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the sub waves of wave 3 would be as be 1, 2, depending on where this goes, 3. Now, invalidation of this would be going below this 1400 or 14,000 range, our peak here, because wave 4 cannot retrace past wave 1 over here. If you guys aren't familiar with that, do some research. There's some free Elliott wave PDF stuff out there. But this is what I'm looking at now. And if we did a Fibonacci extension from this, looking at this third wave, and this being wave 1 of 3 or 1 of 5 of 3. I know it sounds confusing, but that would put, we already extended past our 1.618. If we got up to 2.618, would be about 32.3. So let's go ahead and put this here. And again, this is the very bullish case scenario. And if this was the top of the third wave here, let's put a Fibonacci retracement on from this bottom of this wave 3 of 3 or 3 of 5, and we could come all the way down to the 0.618 would be the furthest we can go at 14.8. A break of this, like I said, a break of this peak here, which is around 13.8. That invalidates this whole count, and we could be going down much lower. But if this is to be valid, our wave 4, I mean, we could, wave 4 could be at 25, could be at 21.5, 18.1, but the 618 is down here at 14.8. That is the lowest I believe it can go. Actually, like I said, the lowest I think it can go is about 14,000 before this count gets invalidated. But then if we took a, measured this wave 3 here, and say we did get up to that 32.3, again, this is pure speculation, and we went back down to the 0.618. But usually when this correction's deep, this one's not quite as deep, but that would get us up to around 44,000, anywhere from 37 to 44,000 for that fifth wave. But again, this would come way down. This could be our June bottom that I've been talking about. Could be the end of our wave 4. So definitely keep your eyes open. Be aware that, you know, we could be topped out here. Let's look at Litecoin. Same thing, 450 days top to top. But as we've been watching, we have a measured move of 150 here, that being looking at this as a rising broadening wedge, and the measured move of the breakout of that is 150. We also have this trend line here from looking at this as a triangle. If we take the measured move of the breakout of that triangle, could be as high as 260 if we can break that 150 range. But if not, most likely come back down to at least test this, depending on where it hits, 92, 93. And then if that breaks, coming down to the $55 range, and then all the way back to the low again at 27 if this was to break. Not saying that's going to happen, but you need to be aware of what could happen. All right, taking a look at Ethereum, we are still playing in this area here. If we do get this breakout of this rising broadening wedge, we have a measured move of 1,077 if that happens. If not, we should be coming back down to test the bottom of this between $450 and $500 range to retest the bottom of this wedge. And if that was to break, we could be going way down to the $100 range. But Until we break this 750 range and get support there, I wouldn't expect this 1077. But if we do break that and get support here, then we most likely could be looking for this range. Otherwise, if we have topped out in Bitcoin and Litecoin, Ethereum should be topped out here and come down and retest this bottom trend line. XRP, we hit our target almost on the dot. We had the 1, 2, 3 third wave. I had it at 16, a little over 16.5 cents. And what did we get to? And those of you that have been watching know I put this chart up about a week ago, a little over. You can follow me on my Twitter at CryptoSavvy1. I post charts sometimes, not all the time, but anyways, we've got to 17 is where we got our bounce now. We could still come back down and get this area first, but then I would look for a retracement, which would be the fourth wave, which would be a retracement wave up. That could start at around 28, get our bounce up to about 28, and then continue down to our ultimate target of wave 5 of 4 cents. But again, we could get up as high. We could even get all the way up to close to our wave 1 range, which would be about 42 cents. But I would be looking at, if you were trading this, if I were trading this, I would be looking to short around 28. If that breaks, around 36, and then 42 ultimately. But 4 cents is my target for XRP. That is what I'm looking at. And who knows? I mean, it could go straight down from here. XRP, as you guys know, if you watch my channel, I've never been a fan of and never will be. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to click Crypto Savvy logo above my head to get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell and turn your notifications on. Smash that like button. Leave your comment down below. And check out the tutorials I got posted on the side here. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm out.